In 3, 2, 1. Stand by.
Are you ready for a change?
I am talking to you.
Then get ready to explore the quantum possibilities. It's time to transform that outdated paradigm into something universal and new. Time to uncover the truth hidden beneath the veil of lies. A time to think outside the box as we link to a higher consciousness. Welcome to the awakening. And now the hosts of Broadcast Team Alpha, Nori Love and Augie Nost.
Well, hello. I'm beaming you a symbol. And, okay, I'm beaming you another symbol. How are you? How are you guys? It's Tuesday night and I'm so excited. So you were probably wondering why I didn't greet you with my usual, quirky, interesting words that I usually do or things that I call you, because I decided that in honor of our guest tonight, I am not going to be Nori. Like Prince did this, he took on a symbol. So tonight I'm going to be a symbol. And tonight, instead of, addressing you the way that I usually do, I was actually beaming signals to you. So we have a really, really cool guest. But first, I just want to tell you, as usual, how much we appreciate you. It's so great to be here with you. And wait, I'm going to beam you one more symbol. Wouldn't it be funny if somebody really gets them? That'd be amazing. If you got a symbol, please write it in the chat tonight. Thank you for your generous donations. Thank you for, all the well wishes and letting us know, what you do like about the show. And we love being here on Tuesday night with you. And you can always connect with us on broadcastteamalpha.com. You can connect with us on the Mastermind Connection at gmail.com. We do have a mastermind every Sunday. It's 2 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Eastern. 2 p.m. Eastern, we join together with like-minded intentions, and it's always benevolent, for peace, for peace, especially during this time. We visualized people being kind and loving, especially during the elections, so we beam that out into the quantum realm. And then at the 3 o'clock hour, we do our own CE5, and we've been doing it before it became popular, and we've actually made contact with a fellow named Alchemedes, who is from Pleiades, and he always has interesting things to tell us. So if you'd like to come and be part of that or see what's going on, just send us an email to the mastermindconnection@gmail.com. Just remember to keep the THE in the front of it. So oh wait, I can't say your name. I'm giving you your own symbol right now too. Hold on. Okay, there's your symbol. Tell us about our guest.
All right. Well, you are different today. Oh, this is going to be so good. We have Celestine Star joining us again on Broadcast Team Alpha. And she's an incredible lady. She has been on the front end of spiritual development on the planet for quite a few years. Actually, couple of 3 decades. Gosh, that's a lot of credibility. Now, she's also the founder and director of Galactic Earth Council and an emissary for the ultra-terrestrial beings coming here to help mankind. And she's been doing this for over 40 years. And she's also a counselor to groups and individuals who want to learn more about the spiritual worlds. She is in contact with alien and spiritual entities on a regular basis, and they teaches her how to help in the upcoming consciousness shift that we are going through, and also in anticipation of the word is reintegration of us into the galactic community again. And these are benevolent extraterrestrials, and they are teaching her and many others around the planet on how to make this shift. And she's also the author of the book, The Galactic Earth Council. Her mission here is to help in the raising of the vibration of Earth and everything on it. And of course, we're on it, so we are also going with it on that journey. She has several websites, one of them which I got into here today, and I tell you folks, you got to go there and see this. There is a great picture gallery, and there's some very interesting pictures and also things she has written up about, and the website is galacticearthcouncil.com. I love that picture on there where there was people in the picture, and the picture is full of orbs around them everywhere. And you know, those orbs, they are intelligent. They are possible entities that is coming to join them. So that picture, you got to see this one. So yeah, this is going to be an elevated conversation here, and we're going to talk about many of the things that you've been wondering about. And, you know, I guess we could start out with something on the purpose of the organization that she is kind of heading up here, the 1,000 Goddesses. And we're talking about ancient symbolism and how it is relevant today and how we use them and don't even know it. The raising of consciousness, and this is going to be good. Hey, welcome to the show, Celestine.
Welcome.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here. Always love speaking with you too.
Aw, thank you.
Thank you.
To talk with you. Where should we start? So, interestingly, some people in the chat room did get my symbols. I did send a heart, but I don't know. That's probably expected. I did send a triangle, but I did a triangle with a cross in it, and we're going to talk about where the cross really came from. And then there was one more. John got a circle, so that's partially right. So I'm not going to give it away. So Celestine, where should we begin? Tell us about the 1,000 Goddesses. I'm curious.
Oh my goodness. It is going to be epic. It's another one of those world happenings where we could have up to 5 million people join in.
Wow.
Right now, we have close to 50 or 60 solid ceremonies all around the world happen simultaneously. And this is the vision and the workings of Mayor Cromwell, who is the high oracle for Mother Gaia. She's been speaking to Mother Gaia for some time in her life, and I had the honor of connecting with her in 2018. She's been doing this global goddess, 1,000 Goddesses gathering since 2016. So we did it at Washington, right there on the green with the obelisk and the beautiful waters.
Wow.
And there was at least 200 or 300 people that showed up. It was just before the election, and she says this is what Mother has asked her to do, and Mother has a team of counselors and such. But I was blown away at just the power that comes in. So I volunteered this year to work on her advisory committee, and I'm so glad I did. And I raised my hand and I said, let's do a ceremony in California, Northern California. So we will be doing this Saturday, October 24th from 12 to 3:30. And of course, it's Mother's time if we go slightly over. But what it is the luminous love energy, bringing in the luminous love energy to the planet. And for us to gather with our hearts open in offering empowerments, divine songs, soulful prayers, and we invoke the gods and goddesses within us to share the love, truth, compassion, balance, and peace. So this is an awaken happening, and I'm so excited to offer this online, and this will be the first time I've done it online. Totally amazing to have these offerings, and so we invite you to come.
Wow. How can we do that? How do we do that? Where do we get tickets?
You can get tickets. You could go to 1000 Goddesses with the ES at the end of
Okay.
goddess.net. And you look
Excellent.
down, you scroll down, and you'll see the map of all the ceremonies. You could check us out. We're at Tiburon, California. So we're that's where we're going to be streaming out of. And you can find the tickets there, or you can go to Eventbrite and look and search for 1000, the number 1000 Goddesses
Okay.
Gathering. And there'll be three of us, three different ones you'll see on Eventbrite, but we are the one at Tiburon.
Okay. Well, I mean, I don't even know if there was a more important time for this to be happening. So that's amazing.
It's
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And now it said 1,000 goddesses. What
mhm.
about us guys?
Yes, and I say gods and goddesses. We have several men that are going to be speaking the God wisdom for the divine feminine. So the main focus is bringing that balance into the world of the divine feminine. We've gone through suffering, so we need to bring some healing. And within every man is the female. So bringing in that really soft energy for people to begin healing from this really traumatic time. And this particular 1000 Goddesses Gathering is a prophecy. It's a Tibetan prophecy that states that when 1000 goddesses gather, that they're in the name of the divine feminine, they will rebirth the earth and through their combined energies and bring peace. So that is what
Wow.
yeah.
Wow, this is really amazing, really very powerful, really
So
important.
we can find a local event, maybe something is going on possibly in Tucson.
Absolutely. What I think is really fun is some people start in France. There's some in France because that's the Rosie line, 0. And then as the sun rises and it keeps continuing and the earth spins, it goes in a circle and you could jump different ceremonies. You can experience ceremonies in Auckland, New Zealand, Hawaii, you know. So this
Oh, this reminds me of the conversion back in 1987.
that's right. We just had the convergence. Everybody we did a whole ceremony that day.
Yeah.
Very
Oh,
similar.
yeah, because I remember I participated in that one in 1987.
Mhm.
We were sitting outside all night meditating.
We did the same. We ended up in Shasta. There was
Ah,
2,000 people came to Shasta. Nobody knew what they were there for other than love. We all started meditating. We made these arches, and went through it. By the time the morning came, we stepped onto the path of spiritual promise. And
yeah.
this is good.
Ah. Back in 1987, we were told afterwards by someone they thought they knew that by all these people got together, and just might be happening again now. There was a clarion call going out for help for mankind. Do you remember that?
Yes, I remember that. Well, we were in Middletown, where Harbin Hot Springs, in August 16th, where it started, and then the 17th, everybody went to Shasta. But this year, there was a gentleman, Mark Sims, who saw the vision. We had talked earlier. He was able to gather people through the festivals online, and he connected with the C5 meditation to bring in the higher spiritual consciousness, like Jose Aguelos. And I connected in on our end with Willard Vandenbach, who actually created the game, the Mayan Dream Spell. And he was friends with Jose Aguelos. We were both friends with him. And yes, so yeah, that was a powerful. So Mark gathered people in May, and it was kind of interesting. I actually called in August on the actual day for people to gather as well, but he did his in May, and there was thousands of people who gathered. Yeah.
Wow.
So people are awake. They're watching. They're ready.
Yeah, and the people are watching, but there are also others that are watching. In other words, we are being watched because they are here. We are not alone in the universe. They're here watching us and seeing our progress and seeing how persistent we are at seeking this higher consciousness where we would more or less be worthy of their presence. What do you think of that?
Well, first of all, I don't, my experience of them and those of the High Spiritual Council, the Galactic Star Federation, and the Star Confederation, they don't feel that they're higher than us. They admire us because we are brave enough to come into a human form. They never took on another form. They're still in their original form. And they see Earth form as Earth's signature form. So they honor those of us who entered. And they see us as galactic consciousness in an Earth human signature form. And they asked me jokingly, how do you see through those little eyes? So they're ready to hear from us, to understand what we go through, and that's why they do have watchfulness, and they honor us in every way. There's no differentiation. They see us as an expression of the Radiant One, which is the Creator. And so I always get an equal vibe with them. I don't feel that I need to worship or get down. They're here to empower us right now. And so they give us tools, lots of technology. They're ready to, for those who are ready to step up to it, they're talking about tactian energy instead of the microwave for communications. So, but they are here for sure.
They are here. Now, have they, I don't know how to pose this question. Have they recently had a gathering of their own where, all of the ones that were here, and maybe, we each had some of our own that were, with us, or I don't know, assigned to us is not the right word, where they kind of went away for a time for a gathering? Is anything like that? Have you heard of anything like that?
So what I'm hearing, trying to understand is, I think you're saying, have they had a gathering, conclave?
Yes, where it took them, like, let's say we notice them, those who are, have the heightened vision or can sense them, and then suddenly we feel the absence of them. Have they had like a conclave or something where they've taken their presence out of our now for a little while?
No, they will always. So this group, being the High Spiritual Council that I've known for about 40 years of my life, they have been here since the inception of our solar system. Wow. They are connected to the whole of the Sheshata, which is the Milky Way. And they were a part of the consciousness that came when the first 12 human signature forms were created, because of they see Earth as a tone. We on Earth create a tone, and that tone there's a tone for Saturn and Venus, so they honor that tone. So the first group of 12, which we may call the Ascended Masters or the Great Ones, they've never left. There was later, we call the third dimension the greening area. So no one stayed in the greening area. So they never left. And what's happened is our frequency, our dimensional field is raising. And because of that, we are interfacing now with their dimension so we can see them more. We can actually see them. We see them more. They don't have to cloak. Everything is done, and I can explain later why they don't have to cloak anymore. But we are growing up. We are being graduated into their dimensional field. But some people may feel they've gone away, but actually there will always be their presence.
Okay, that's amazing. This is so exciting.
Yeah,
Wow.
this change is something that there is nothing that can stop it. It is been decided, and we are moving into a regional space that helps raise our vibration, and it is coming. And the best we can do is to accept it and just say, hey, bring it on. I love it.
Yes, bring it on. It is full on. I love you, Hagi. They have been as gentle as they can be. In just a short moment, I could tell you that when our government in 1948 set off 10 atomic bombs at one time and ripped the sky, they tore the sky in two. I was there at 7. I was in the local area, and the Indians and everyone freaked out. That is when we started seeing the huge flying saucers. That is part of the lesson that we are now in. It is that we opened up our protective shield and let everything come in that is in with us now. So it's like we are going to a place now where we will be galactically awakened to the field, and it's going to be exciting. We're turning the wheel of time. I love it. I'm so excited.
It is exciting. It is so exciting.
It's
My
like
goodness.
Star Trek. Here we come. Yeah.
Yeah, it's. I can't wait. I wish this would happen like Friday. That'll be fine with me.
Well, for 10 years, our Galactic Earth Council has had relationships with a particular grouping of extraterrestrials. We call them ultra-terrestrials. Anyone connected with the government, they call them aliens. So that's how we differentiate what's happening. But we've had great success, and each person has their own individual connection to this higher consciousness. And that's exciting to watch people's lives change.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Let's see, we got 1 minute left to the break here. And before, for the next 30 seconds, is there anything that indicates a time schedule for any kind of happenings?
We have coming up 11/11 at 11/11/2020. And that's going to be a turning point from March, which is the equinox, the spring to fall. That was the countdown. Everybody chose either they're going off the cliff or they're going upward. And so we are going upward, and we'll talk more about it.
Yay.
Okay.
We'll see you after the break.
This is the Broadcast Team Alpha Show, hosted by Nori Love and Augie Nost. The one show that takes your doubts of the unknown and spins them into reality. Share your thoughts by calling our hotline number at 702-425-9230. That's 702-425-9230.
Call now.
Worldwide callers use Skype name KCOR Radio. More cutting-edge conversation and exploration of the quantum universe after this.
Tuesdays at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, come discover the universal core to all your issues by tapping into the unseen world, exclusively on the KCOR Digital Radio Network. From the metaphysical, simultaneous realities, alchemy, as well as the ascension process, the hosts of the unseen world will take you on a roller coaster ride through the metaphysical matrix. So buckle up and enjoy the ride. The Unseen World, live Tuesdays 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. Come awaken to an endless world of possibilities.
Alien Deceptions, a suspenseful sci-fi romance thriller by Tina Marie, featuring the tantalizing Erica Jones and the mysterious Russell Hamilton. An out-of-this-world book of fiction based on years of document facts and files the government does not want you to know about, at least not yet. Alien Deceptions by Tina Marie. Available now at Amazon.com or get a signed copy at TinaMarieEntertainment.com. Get your copy now.
How long does it take to get to the forest?
That's not far.
What are we gonna do? Hike?
Sure.
Are we there yet?
Yep. It's a short drive from your neighborhood to your naturehood. Visit discovertheforest.org, brought to you by the Ad Council and the U.S. Forest Service.
Great.
It's great. I think it's great. I think it's
The all-new KCOR Digital Radio Network.
great. Please make a note of it. It's great.
If ever a breed was affectionate to a fault, it's the Golden Retriever. They're people dogs, pure and simple. And the Golden Retriever Rescue of Southern Nevada needs your help. If you would like to volunteer, foster, adopt, or donate, go to the Golden Retriever Rescue of Southern Nevada's website at grrsn.org. That's grrsn.org. Or call 598-GOLD. That's 598-GOLD.
Looking for a radio show like no other?
We need something brand new.
Then tune into the KCOR Digital Radio Network, Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, and get ready for The Quantum Shift. A great shift of consciousness is sweeping across the Earth. Are you ready for the dimensional shift?
It is amazing, is it not?
The Quantum Shift. Hosted by Dr. Sam Muggsy, Kent Dunn, and Gary Parson. Be part of the fifth dimensional reality, where consciousness prevails and the universal law of one is the only true reality. The Quantum Shift. Live Tuesdays, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. Exclusively on the KCOR Digital Radio Network.
Going live.
Come explore the quantum possibilities. This is Broadcast Team Alpha.
Broadcast Team Alpha.
To be on the show live, call 702-425-9230. That's 702-425-9230. Worldwide callers use Skype name KCOR Radio. Share your thoughts of the show on Twitter at KCOR Radio, #KCOR. Or join the cutting edge conversation live in our chat room at KCORradio.com. Now back to Broadcast Team Alpha with your free thinking hosts, Nori Love and Augie Nast.
Hey everybody, yay, we're back. And how am I going to do shout outs if everybody has a symbol tonight? Okay, I'm going to have to retire the symbols for a little while so I can say hi to everybody. So let's see. The amazing Shady D is here. Oh, look, Augie is here. Iowa Girl, Yappy is here. And Naj is here. Yay. And Rob is here. John is here. Shady D's all over. Wow. Hi, Lynn. The amazing, rich, and famous, beautiful Tina Marie is here. Parked Cake. Hello, Parked. I said hello to Iowa. John. And Kay is here. And who else did I miss? Oh, Joe is here. And Joe Marco is here. Not to be confused with Joe Marco. Linda is here. And Linda Gould is here. And Lisa. Hi, Lisa. And I think I got everybody. If I missed you, please forgive me. Wave Rider and Summer. I almost missed you. And did I say hi to Yappy? If not, hi, Yappy. So good. easy for me to say. So glad you're all here with us. And we were talking during the break, so I just really want to get back into the conversation because Celestine is just, a wealth of galactic information. So welcome back, Celestine. Thank you so much again.
Thank you. I'm excited. This is great.
So you were talking about that we make a sound, we make a tone, and that's how we're known?
Yes.
To the galactics?
Yes, to the higher sensitive ones.
Wow.
We could be very proud. This is a unifying factor that most Earthlings are unaware of. We are the children of the Sheshata.
The Sheshata.
And the Sheshata is the Milky Way.
Wow.
And so each planetary system and the galaxies, the little solar systems within the Milky Way, all have a tone. Now, if you start listening, tuning in to the cyber noise, and everyone's talking, but listening to the butterflies and the bees, and that becomes one tone vibrating out into the cosmos. Isn't that beautiful? And
that is so beautiful.
As we become more attuned to that, we can see what kind of tone do we want to be in truth and reality. We have the power of that.
I love that. Now, does this tie into people toning so much now? It is not unusual to come across live podcasts where people are, singing in light language and toning and making these really unusual sounds. Is all of that born out of that?
I would say that it is connected to that, yes.
Okay.
That's a very, their spirit is singing the love and the vibration of the creation.
That is beautiful.
And by singing out and toning, so as you tone the sound of Om, you are clearing the field. It's like you walked in a room and you started saying, God, 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 God. People will turn around, and I've had people in panic, and I just start chanting God, and they calm down and they look at me like, wow. You can tone the sound of the heart. Right?
Beautiful.
And so if you are a sound healer, then you get into the tone. But I think it's connected to that. But, there is a tone of Earth. And if you have tuning forks or something like that, you can get this tone of Venus, you can get the tone of Saturn. It's very interesting, that is.
It's amazing.
Yeah, I guess each one of us create the sound individually, and it's a different frequency which we can be recognized by within the field.
You got
individually.
Yes.
And here is, me, of course, the nuts and bolts science nut here. I tell you, if you have a plate, let's say a sheet of metal, thin one, and then underneath it you set off the frequency of 432.
Yes.
And then you put sand on top of it. That sand will vibrate to a pattern that almost look like a heart.
What is the number?
432.
3, 4. Okay.
That's the universal.
432. That is the sound of our womb, of the women's womb, where the baby is grown.
Okay.
So that's beautiful what you're telling me. I always know it as 432. You say 432, so it took me a moment. Thank you. The cymatics of
I've seen that, and it is beautiful because all you have to do is turn that frequency on, and bingo, there's that. It doesn't exactly look like a heart, but it's formed as a heart.
Isn't that beautiful? And Om, as we were talking about the symbolism, Om is just exactly like that. It's like the ancient ones saw the symbols in the vibrational field, and they created the language from that.
Yeah, let's talk about those symbols.
Well, before we go there, I have one other question. How did light language come about, and I mean, so too, as I said before, coming across podcast people, singing tones or making tones, it's not unusual, for people to be on podcasts now speaking in light language. Can you just speak a little bit to that?
Keshena akura ashkana ma'aikana.
Exactly.
Branduna maiskna, herda baisknokana. So I'm speaking in my Syrian language.
I love it.
When I take people back and I regress them in their galactic consciousness, back to the first time they came to Earth, generally they carry with them that light language. It was like the first, I think it's throughout all creation, you could speak to another, and it's speaking heart to heart. It's a language that only spirit understands. It's not something that, I can translate it for you, what I just said, but another person, if I spoke to them in the light language, they would understand me and they speak back to me.
Yeah.
So it's an interesting thing, but it comes out of pure spirit. That's what I would say.
I love that.
Mm-hmm.
And
Wow.
it's interesting because if you listen to enough people, you can detect like dialects. Now, I don't know. I mean, like your dialect is Syrian, if you will, and then there's another one, and I don't know, what who it belongs to. I have to tell you, my light language is not as flowy and beautiful as a lot of, everybody's like, da, 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 da. I mean, my light language almost could be, I don't know, like a little Chinese, like it's choppy and not flowy, like yours. Does that?
Okay. Go ahead and say it.
I don't think I could do it here tonight.
Okay, you've given symbols, and now we're at light language. Each one is individual, and it's just what it is. Some people they speak telepathically to each other, but yet some people speak in tones. Like it's not a full, they can't translate it other than a tone or something like that. So, but yeah, no, hold your own, honey. That's yours.
I still have like 1 foot in the closet, so I'm going to contact you. Thank you.
We'll do your origins, and it'll just pop right out.
I'll come out of the closet. So,
yeah, exactly.
So can we talk about symbols? I love what you were telling me earlier, telling Augie and I about the cross and how people see symbols. Yeah,
crosses. Okay, yeah. Let's start with the cross. The development of the arcane symbolism came through, kind of in the Middle Ages, but it goes back further into Egypt and Greece, and it goes back further into the Judaism of the ancient ones, these sacred languages of India. And the Egyptians, they had these outposts in India, so some of their writings of the Vedics and things come out of Egypt and came into India because they had outposts there down in southern India with the Tamils and such. One of the symbols I could say we wanted to talk about was the cross. And I've done a number of regressions with people back into their original origins. And we'll talk about what is the symbol of your people? And they say, oh, a cross. But it looks like an ankh. And every time I've had, numerous people who see the ankh as the first cross. Mm-hmm. And even in Egypt, there was a beautiful man. We say he was behind the orange curtain, down in Southern California. And he came with my cousin who was leading the group from Egypt. And when we were traveling up the Nile, and he had this big hat and his Stetson on and his boots. By the time we got to the Pyramid of Giza, this man had lost the hat. He lost all the good, he just couldn't believe where he was. It just humbled him. And he asked me, do I have permission to buy a cross? And I thought he was talking about, the what is it, the Knights Templar, the cross, the Maltese cross. And he came back. I said, well, of course, whatever you need. He comes back with an ankh. And so that was really amazing that, people see through time and space the value of the symbol of life,
Yes.
So I would share that. And there's ways of looking at these symbols and reading the world. When you learn how to use your spirit to read the world, the symbols, and you become godlike. They call you the Netaru. They call you the Netter because you have an understanding that goes beyond the form.
Wow. Wow. I actually understand that. I can't put words to it, but I feel that I understand. That's amazing. Wow.
Yeah, and the when you look at the Ankh, it kind of looks like a cross. So I can perfectly well understand why that the concept of it came out of Egypt.
Yeah. Well, it's, very much it can be the womb, it could be with the uterus and the ovaries and the canal. It could be many things. Some people say the spirit, where you draw the human head and the line becomes the body. And the spirit is tied to matter, which would be a knot. You'll see a knot in the arms. So when you are in the embodiment of being a human form, then you are tied to matter. So that's life within matter. So it has many esoteric meanings through the years. And it's still used today. So it carries on, and it will carry on with our children's children, I love it.
Yeah.
Celestine, would you mind taking a couple of questions from our friends in the chat room?
No, I'd love that.
Okay, so Yathy asks, what is your perspective on the quantum wave in this universe and process?
Thank you.
Wave.
Yes, thank you, Yappy. When I hear you speak of the quantum wave, I take in the unified field, and that Earth has moved from, if you look at the Milky Way from the side, Earth does an ecliptic. It goes below the Milky Way and moves upward. In that movement of 2012, where the Earth is in the center of the Milky Way, and now we've moved up into the top of the Milky Way. So from the center to the top of the Milky Way in that ecliptic movement, we were exposed to the photon field coming out of the center, and now we're at the top. So you could imagine if you were magnetically, the Milky Way was magnetically negative, positive at the bottom, negative at the top. We're drawing in more cosmic rays. So the quantum wave would be that field of quantum energy coming all around us, which naturally does that, but we're having more amplified field, and our solar waves are very weakened. And so because the solar wave was almost like our protective shield, we do not have that as much. Earth's our own magnetic field from turning is now having holes in different places. So people are taking in more energy. It's affecting the brain synapses. It's awakening the right side of the brain, connected to the spiritual realms, connected to the God force, connected to intuition, clairvoyant, clairaudience. So you're seeing more sensitivities. And from what I understand from our galactic brothers and sisters, we are creating the third brain, which has a modulated, unified capacity of using both reason and intuition together.
Wow.
So that would be what I would say. So what is the perspective? It's mutating, awakening, transforming, and it takes us the trees. If you go out and touch a tree, they're taking in the same wave. They're awakening. Every plant, all the animals.
Yes.
Some are leaving, some are staying.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
There's another question. Thank you for that. That's Amazing. Iowa Girl asks, when you say we're going upward, many Christians associate that with the rapture. Any thoughts on that?
Thank you. The rapture is a timeline.
Mm-hmm.
It's a timeline in which things become pretty bad on Earth. And all of a sudden, the higher Christ appears and diminishes those who would cause harm to all those on Earth, from what I understand, and souls would rise. So for me, that is a timeline, and each person, each grouping has their own idealism of what they need for their reality. It is not what I am speaking of when I say rising. I could give you my own experience of rising. I went through the beautiful light in a death experience, through the light into the heavenly realms. And there, after having the reading of my life and being escorted with two beautiful luminous blue beings, I entered the Godhead. So being in the Godhead, and I can't even speak what that is. I would have to prostrate myself, give my breath. It is so holy.
Yes.
And then coming back to this realm, when I say arising, I would say awakening as well.
Yes.
So if you are awakening to your divinity, and I've spent the last 5 years taking people through an encoded transmission of your galactic awakening to who you truly are, I am meeting people's divinity. I am standing before the Holy of Holies. And they came from, a pilot from an airlines to somebody who is a mother of 3 children to, different walks of life. And when they open up completely, I'm standing before divinity. So that awakening is what I would see as, arising. And the trouble that is given to the world by those they call the reverse consciousness cannot stop that. And so that would be our own rapture. We enrapture ourselves.
Yes. Right.
and
right.
as a group, we are rapturing the world.
Right.
Yeah.
And there was one other question when we were talking about light language. John likened it or asks about the likeness of it to tongues, speaking in tongues.
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
Similar, the same?
Very similar. But you have to be very careful because speaking in tongues, it would be an individual thing. Somebody could have a spirit that is disincarnated, move into the field of a person who is in a body and not quite grounded.
Yes.
And they could take over the vocals and start speaking, and maybe that this is the way they speak, or they would be able to enter in. That would be not something I would have done without somebody being watchful, and being able to determine, is this a very high being we're speaking, or, is it somebody who's possessed?
Yes. And Shady D would like to know, would this have to do with our odd weather patterns, or is this Mother Earth shaking things up, the energy shift, affecting our weather?
I would say yes. Having more gamma waves. If you are really interested, you can look at. There's a place, Electroverse, which they study this phenomena in the weakening of the sun. It's a 25-year cycle of the sun. There's hardly any sunspots at all. So we're really not getting that protective shield that we used to get. And yes, it is causing weather changes, more cooler weather. The weather is coming, cooler weather down closer to the equator. You could get more information about that, and our bodies taking on more gamma,
Yeah. Gosh, I see that we only have 3 minutes left of the show here. So,
I
Celestine,
know it went so quickly.
it went so fast. God, no, we got to have her back soon. I wanted to
Absolutely,
ask about the
Celeste.
raising of consciousness, the environmental, and the secret history of Earth, and the 7 principles of the universe. There's so much more. But no, Celestine, tell us where people can reach you and what you can do for them and what kind of service you have.
Beautiful. It has been such an honor and pleasure to be with both of you, Augie and Tina. I just, my heart is with you both. You can find me at the galacticearthcouncil.com, galacticearthcouncil.com. Go there, sign up, and you'll get the newsletters. That keeps you up to date. Time 11:11 at 11:11 a.m. on 2020. Go outside, get off your black box radios, phones, get outside. I think there's going to be a downpouring of spiritual light. And you can also get a galactic origin session, which is very paramount for so many people that are seeking to know who you are, where you came from, why you're here, what is your contracts, what is your clan, what are your people?
Beautiful.
It's just a really beautiful thing. So that's what I would say.
Okay,
Wonderful.
can you work me in tomorrow? Just kidding.
Anytime, honey. I offer it to you whenever.
Soon.
It will be my pleasure on that.
Thank you. Amazing. Thank you so much. My goodness. Thank you, everybody in the chat room. You're all so awesome and picking up on the symbols. That was so much fun. And Augie, thank you. You're kind of out of the closet suddenly. You've got like new moves going on here.
Yeah, I moved the last leg out of the closet because all my skeletons in there was biting my toes, so I had to get it out.
You are the best one, Augie. Yes. I so respect everything you say and everything you do. You're just amazing.
Oh, thank you. Well, we will be back next week, so come and see and hear us again because this is going to get good. Celestine, I want you back as soon as we can get an opening here.
Absolutely. I love you all.
Love you too.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
You've been listening to Broadcast Team Alpha.
Broadcast Team Alpha.
Hosted by Nori Love and Augie Nost. Every Tuesday night at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, exclusively on the KCOR Digital Radio Network. The balance of power is shifting to a new paradigm. Will you be ready? For more information on Broadcast Team Alpha, as well as the hosts, Nori Love and Augie Nost, please visit their website at broadcastteamalpha.com. Until next week, remember to keep those minds open while always exploring the endless quantum possibilities.
Broadcast Team Alpha. Over and out.
This is KCOR Las Vegas, home of the Digital Radio Network, broadcasting from a shack just south of Area 51.
Wait, that doesn't exist.
This is